If you are an online coach, a fitness professional, someone who's trying to be an online coach, and you just don't know where to go or how to get started, and you feel like every day is running away from you, I'm going to talk to you about how you can learn to dominate your own life and routine. This is really important for me because I worked with loads of personal trainers, and one of their biggest downfalls is they literally have zero routine. They're constantly feeling overwhelmed, overworked, all of these words that kind of put ourselves down because they don't have a routine. So I want to talk to you about how you can learn to dominate your own life so you don't feel like you're always chasing your tail. For me as a business owner and a coach and a mentor, it's important because I don't ever want to be in that position. And there have been times where I felt a little bit burnt out and overworked. But now I can honestly say I've never felt overwhelmed in my entire life. I've been burnt out, yes, but never overwhelmed. So let's get straight into it, man, because these are going to be some more holistic approaches, a little bit different to my usual videos. I want to tell you a bit of a story to get started. I was a busy personal trainer, delivering 20, 30 hours a week, plus teaching gym classes, which meant that I didn't really have a lot of time for myself. I didn't have time for a social life. I messed up one very good relationship in my life because of it. It just meant that I couldn't really be the kind of person that I wanted to be. And the funny thing is, I wasn't getting any closer to my financial goals or my life goals. I had to really sit down and question, what the F am I doing? Am I getting closer to my goals? Am I gonna be where I wanna be when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm 50? And the answer was no. But because I asked myself those really serious questions, it provided a big moment of clarity for me. And clarity is really important when it comes to learning how to dominate and manage my life and your life. So what I did next is quite simple, and it was setting some more achievable and measurable goals. But these weren't goals like, oh, I want to earn 100K or I want to be able to do this and that. These were goals based on where I wanted my life to be. So this was more like, I want to feel happy and peaceful. I want to have a successful relationship with my father. I want to have a better relationship with my sisters and my brother. I want to be closer to my mother. I want to have more time for my friends. These weren't goals that were necessarily tied to specific monetary outcomes and those type of things. This was more like, am I living a fulfilled life? Because I could make 5, 10, 15 grand in a month, but if I wasn't really happy, it didn't really make sense to me. And if I'm overworked and I'm always chasing my tail, the money really was useless. So once I set some clarity on this, I was able to schedule certain things in my weekly diary that made my life a lot more fulfilling, which then meant I could show up with more energy when it came to work. I remember working with some clients and we'd set some really strong goals for them to achieve, and I realized I wasn't applying that to my life. So this was really the first step. The next step was prioritizing my time. Do you ever feel like you've got 100 things going on? You're going from here to here, you're eating meals in between sessions while on the gym floor. Like, there's just so much going on that you don't even know how to schedule your whole week or your day. Trust me, I've been there. And that was really one of the biggest breakthroughs for me. And it was even harder because I wanted to go online. So I was posting content, I was writing emails, I was delivering client programs while still working on the gym floor doing PT. Like, my week was a mess. I don't want to swear. It was a mess though. So I started very, very basic. I literally just got Google Calendar out and I started to plot my week. And I learned something from a famous mentor called Craig Ballantyne. And it was just the process of time blocking. Literally, I would block out my diary. And this was a game changer for me. So imagine you got Google Calendar up right now. There were some things that I'd start with first. So I'd start with me time. So my week was based around me. The first things I started to plot out in my weekly diary was what am I going to do for myself? So that was my own training, meditation time, downtime, social life, reading time. I'd even go to the point of scheduling a weekly date night, even as a single man. I'm single, but I still schedule dating just in case. So that's kind of how my week was going, literally planned to a T. After that, I'd schedule family time because you have to put those things in your diary. Your family comes first. Even if you got a partner, you should be scheduling time for your partner. If you got kids, you should be scheduling time with the children. And then the next stage was scheduling money generating tasks. So what part of my week could I generate income for the business, whether that is generating leads through Instagram DMs, email marketing, putting together my next marketing strategy depending on the year. Like, those things that are going to lead to more money was my next thing that I put in my diary. Then the next thing is client fulfillment. So obviously that's coaching PT hours, online coaching, handling my Facebook group, just the stuff that's actually helping me get results. Because if I don't get results, my business goes down the drain. And now you can start to see how my week is firstly centered around me, because if my energy is high, I can deliver more in all those other areas, money generating tasks and client fulfillment. And that is literally the basic structure to my week. This just meant that I felt so much more in control. I didn't feel like I was under the barrel of a gun every time that I woke up up. And this is honestly the true way to feel like you're in control of your time and feel like you are the master of your own destiny, rather than being like a slave to your diary and your PT clients. And if you do want to dominate your life and you're not planning it, guess what? You're never going to dominate your life. You're always going to be a slave to your work life, basically. And this can apply to so many other areas, but obviously I work in health and fitness. So I just want you guys to kind of resonate and understand. As a basic thing, if you're a PT as well, because PTs will say, oh, but my clients want to train at this time, you have to have a schedule that you work with. So I'll give you guys a quick example. When I was PTing on the gym floor, I would put all my PT hours before 12 o'clock. That was just me. So I was up at 6. I used to open the gym and I would stay from 6 to 12. PT clients in the morning, stay on the gym floor, do a bit of lead generation, and I'm out. Every day, 6 to 12, that was my routine. I was not closing the gym. I hated being there in the evening. So 6 to 12, morning routine. For the rest of the day, I was working on my business, handling everything else on my online coaching business. So if you're a PT, you need to make sure that your PT clients are coming in at the same time every single week. So I would set a schedule with my clients when they sign up with me, and it will be, hey, every session is at this time every week. It doesn't change. You have to lay the groundwork and the boundaries. You can't be changing sessions here and there. So if you've got one client, that one client needs to be the same time every single week. If you have 10 clients, it should be the same time every single week. That's how you build a high level schedule. Simple. My next piece of advice is to schedule your own exercise. I know I said it already, but you need to make sure you're working out every single day. If you're a PT who's out of shape, firstly, it's going to be hard to sell your services because people aren't going to believe in you, and you're not really practicing what you preach. So your own exercise should actually become a priority. It's going to help your mental health. It's going to help you level up. You shouldn't be squeezing in sessions in between PT clients and getting a half-hearted workout done. I used to be like that and it wasn't working for me. Remember, this video is about you dominating your own life, not being a slave to your work. And on top of that, I hate to say it, but we live in a fickle world. So if you are an out of shape PT, it's actually not the best thing for your image, because it's hard because people are going to judge you on a first look basis. So if you are in shape, you're lean, you're ripped, or at least you can show that you compete at a high level, people are going to buy into that. If you're slightly overweight, high body fat percentage, whatever it may be, it's harder. I'm not saying it's impossible, because I've had great coaches that are not in as good shape as me, but it's just harder, and we live in a visual world, unfortunately. And the next point here that's really important is creating a successful morning routine. And I don't mean some hippie, hoorah, woo-wah kind of rubbish in the morning where you wake up at 3 a.m, go for a run, drink a million coffees, and do yoga. I'm just saying you should know what you're doing in the morning, and you should have a very clear, systemized process. But the morning only starts the night before. So you need to have a successful evening before you can have a successful morning, which means you should know exactly what you're doing the next day. The night before, you should plot out 2 to 3 important tasks for the next day, so that way you do not waste time or procrastinate on what you don't need to be doing. As long as you've got that rough structure, you'll be successful. If you win the morning, you win the day. So ultimately, you need to have a clear structure. Make sure you plan everything out, 2 to 3 major tasks, and then you're good to go. You can't be going to bed at midnight, 1 a.m, 2 a.m, and expect to be successful unless you're an alien. I don't know how people do that. You need to make sure you're getting in bed nice and early, you're getting your 7-8 hours sleep, and you're refreshed and you're rejuvenated. Your batteries are recharged, because that way you can actually be successful the next day and you can get your task done. I know this is probably one of the most difficult parts of being a business owner, but you need to actually start to take care of this part of your life. Trust me, you do not want to be going to bed at 2 a.m. and trying to run a successful coaching business. You need energy. And here's my last bit of advice for you. Time block everything and turn all your notifications off. You should not have any notifications on your phone. It should be on do not disturb, because in 2023, we are way too accessible. People shouldn't be able to just phone you. It disrupts your workflow and it doesn't allow you to get into that flow state. Imagine I'm in the flow state and I keep getting a text message or Instagram notifications keep popping up. This can break that cycle of focus. So put this thing on do not disturb, time block your whole week, so that way people cannot disturb you or book calls with you unless it's a sales call. You don't want to get distracted, and that is why people are usually unsuccessful, because they can't focus. We know that attention spans are getting shorter and shorter in this fast food world. That's why people want to be on TikTok and post on Instagram Reels. They don't want to make YouTube videos because it's harder, it's longer. But where does the success lie? The success lies in sticking to habits. And human beings, we are creatures of routine. So the more routine you have, the more habits you have, the more successful you'll be with your coaching business. business. I know that putting your phone on Do Not Disturb might seem like a scary thing to do, but if you want to be successful, trust me, people should not have easy access to you. The only reason that they should do that is if it's a parent, a family member, and it's an emergency. That's the only case. Apart from that, no one else can contact me because as far as I'm concerned, I do not want to be bothered during my working day. Hopefully you found that useful. It wasn't like a typical how-to video, but this is how to dominate your life, dominate your routine, wake up every day feeling fulfilled, actually go after it and go get it, because that's what it is. We need to be go-getters. We need to be winners. I don't want to be around losers who hit the snooze button every time they wake up. I wake up, I'm energetic, let's go. If you found that useful and you want to just get into a better mind state as a human being and you want to level up your health, your fitness, your coaching, all you need to do is drop a like, subscribe, join the community, man, because as far as I'm concerned, men, women, we all need a community. We need a tribe and a tribe of high performers. So if you found this useful, make sure you like it, leave a comment. Peace.